This is the self-titled podcast of the Golf in Japan website, where you can check essential information in English about golfing in Japan, including more than 2,000 courses. We can help you book your round and make the whole process a whole lot easier. So check out golf-in-japan.com and start planning your Japan golf trip today.
Titleist Club Fitting, the fastest way to better. With a player-focused philosophy on fitting, Titleist offers a range of club fitting experiences from drivers to wedges. Your Titleist fitting specialist, thanks to an unmatched selection of products and technology, along with a wealth of fitting knowledge, will provide you with tour-quality fitting experience that can provide immediate benefits for your game. You can experience a fitting in English while in Japan. Just go to the Golf in Japan website and click on the Titleist banner. Or check the link in the description of this podcast. Titleist, the fastest way to better.
Okay, Golf in Japan. It's been a long time. Sashiburi, lads. How's it going?
Very good.
I'm good.
Damon and Pro Joe are here. Well, first off, we've a lot to get to today, because we haven't had a podcast in a while, and I'll put that down to technical faults. Because last week we recorded a wonderful podcast. Pro Joe dialed in. Technically, everything went very smoothly.
It did.
And on our little Zoom unit here, we record everything with micro SD. And it was when I was trying to finish up the podcast, press stop. It was spinning. And then when I took it out, I checked the file, it had a file on it. So I said, okay, there we go, we're good. Went home to edit, and it was the week before the podcast, and we didn't have a podcast.
I went away thinking that was the best one we'd ever done.
Yeah, and I called in and it actually all worked. And anyway, it's all right.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry for that. It was a waste of everybody's time, and to all our listeners out there, and the ones who are berating me for not putting out a podcast, I apologize. We got a new SD card. We're all good to go. And today we're going to have an action-packed show. You might notice that Ryan isn't here. So we've got Pro Joe and we've got Damon. But Ryan is at home with Gikurigoshi.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a custom that when someone's not here, we sandbag them, needle them, basically take the piss out of them. But Ryan has got a herniated disc.
Yeah.
You know, that's so painful. And I've really just got to put it out there. He did get a lesson from Pro Joe last week.
It was a really good lesson. I thought he did well. And there was no signs during the lesson of any distress.
Yeah, jeez, I don't know, mate. It doesn't do much for your business, does it?
He said that he said the doctor said it wasn't anything like, it wasn't like a movement and it went. It was like it was getting sorer and sorer and sorer and sorer. So it was like this kind of repetitive strain thing. And he said it was from sitting looking at a computer screen.
Yeah. So the golf lesson just,
Yeah, just exacerbated, just made it worse.
Well, when I did my Gikurigoshi, the doctor told me, my wife was there with me and she was like, tell him, isn't it golf? And then he was like, no, actually golf is really good for your back. Exercise and strengthening your muscles. That's what you want to do. He said, no, don't be going crazy, but you'd be fine for my injury. But yeah, so Ryan, on your road to convalescence.
We love you, Ryan.
On your road to convalescence.
He's actually a hard guy
or Daijini.
He's a hard guy to pick on though too, isn't he? He's such a lovely soul. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say?
To know he's a jiu-jitsu dude, so he probably
he just fold you in half, didn't he?
Yeah, probably just fold you up with a little ball and just dominate you.
Exactly.
How was his lesson, by the way?
It was good. Yeah, he had some interesting thoughts of how the golf club should be swung, and we sort of
I've seen the before and after pictures.
Yeah,
look really nice.
He's very, very coachable. Good awareness and intelligent guy, and got it all, and he made some really good changes very quickly. So
he's excited about getting out there and playing around. So.
So I'll do a couple more and just get him up to speed. We'll hit some wedges and hit some drivers, and then let's get him out there.
Nice.
Okay, here he is. We'll come back to that later. Okay. Hello, Mick. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Very well.
Hello, mate.
Damon here
beside me. How you going, fellas?
Good.
Yeah, we're live on the show, mate. So welcome to Golf in Japan podcast. Oh, he's gone.
As soon as you said we're live.
That's it. Okay, see you later. Yeah, I've had enough.
I think you just threw the phone out the window of the ute. Because to those of you who are listening, Michael, we put up a picture of him on Instagram, and he was doing the companion golf, and he has a big what you would call a handlebar massage. Here he is again.
Here he is again.
Hey, Mick, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. You're great. Very clear.
Sorry about that. It just dropped out.
We,
no worries.
we were just joking that you threw the phone out the window of the ute.
It was close. Bad deception.
So listen, I've never met you before, but I have to thank you for doing the companion golf when you came over and you were staying in Yokohama, I believe.
Yeah.
We'd just like to get a little bit of your feedback because, you know, it's a service that we think is really good one, and we want to promote it shamelessly on the podcast. So if you could let us know your experiences, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. I loved it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thanks for that, Nick. We'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll catch you next time. No, I really enjoyed the whole process. Damon was great on the email and organising everything. It obviously took a lot of the stress work out, not having to book it myself and not speaking any Japanese.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great service. And then, just the whole day was just fantastic. You know, getting picked up at the door, you know, he was shouting me beers, which was, you know, that's pretty high in my book.
Don't say that.
How many did he have?
He snuck a couple in. He told me not to pay. Screw him. Getting picked up in a Tesla was nice. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention that on air, but he's got a pretty nice car.
Shout out to Tesla.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Loved it.
Fantastic. What course did you play? Do you remember?
It was Gary Player course, Mana CC, I think it's called.
Yep, that's the one.
So it was a really beautiful drive. So that was, you know, almost one of the highlights was the drive out there. It was really nice.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Awesome. I actually
getting out of the city.
I actually had the pleasure to play with Mike, and I've got to say, Mike, you're a bit of a legend, mate. We had a great day out.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, I thought the same to you, mate. It was, such a good day out.
Good. Hey, mate, I'd like to ask you, what's the biggest difference between playing golf in Japan and playing golf back in Aussie?
Wow, it was very different. It was, I guess, patience. Where, you know, everyone in Australia, if you're slow, they're up your ass and they're potentially giving you a bit of a mouthful. But you're just patient in Japan, and everyone just waits their turn. And even if the guys in front are all hitting it out of bounds, you just wait until your turn. And yeah, I found that quite good. Not getting yelled at because I played okay, but I lost I think I lost 6 balls in a day. I definitely was the quickest myself.
I think the lost balls were more because of the Japanese OB system. But
white
that
steaks.
was a bit tough as well.
White steaks.
Yeah, and you know, a few slices as well, which didn't help.
Yeah, nothing. A couple of long necks didn't fix, though, mate. Exactly,
mate. A couple of Sapporos, and I was happy. Playing wise was really good. I playing 9 obviously, and then having the break, we had a real nice buffet and a couple of beers. Good chat with Damon, and then back at it. I don't know if it improved me or maybe worse, but it was pretty warm. So
yeah, nice to get out.
I think we it was actually good to have a break because it was, I don't know what the temperature was, but it felt about 45 degrees.
Sure. And what do you think about the condition of the course?
What's that, sorry?
The condition of the course compared to, I suppose,
it was really
Australia
good
as well.
Yeah, so my take on that would be the fairways were beautiful. Quite longer grass than I'm used to. I'm from down the Sandbelt, Victoria, so quite tight lies. So I was pretty happy to have some longer grass on the fairway. Damon commented I was hitting some good irons, but I think it's because I'm so used to hitting off quite tight lies. It's very easy for me to fat a ball, but it was a bit easier on the iron game, I'd say. But in saying that, the greens were running pretty slow because it rained the night before. So the ball, which was good for me because the ball, when you hit it on the green, it stayed on the green. Whereas where I'm from, they're quite, it rolls pretty quick, so it's pretty easy to put a ball over the back. So I really appreciated a bit of the slow greens.
Nice. And Kabir, I have to ask you, I heard that you stayed in the Capsule Hotel. How did that go?
I wouldn't recommend it personally. It was
like being in a coffin?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was a couple blokes snoring, which I wasn't too stoked about. And, you're just in this cramped little hole. So, a couple of weird things going on in the bathroom as well, which I won't mention.
Okay.
There was a couple of pairs of knickers in there, and I'm pretty sure they came from the vending machine.
Wow. There was a vending machine with knickers.
Yeah, I think there was something weird going on there. So
Wow.
there was a couple of pairs in there, which I was surprised about.
You don't have that then, the sand belt?
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, so you recommend the companion golf, but not the capsule hotel?
Not the capsule, 100% the companion golf.
Cool. And what else did you get up to while you were here? Did you do anything memorable other than?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. I think 4 nights in Tokyo, so we just did all the touristy stuff there mainly. But obviously, my highlight was golf. And then we headed to Kyoto afterwards. That was really nice for 3 nights, and then finished in Osaka.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, but obviously with the weather, it was pretty much just drinking every day because it was so bloody hot.
Yeah. Was that your first time to Japan?
It was. Yeah, I'd been wanting to go for years. So yeah, some good flights popped up, and me, the missus, and one of her friends just said, "Let's just do it."
Oh, fantastic! That's great. You have to come back again and play with us again.
Yeah, that's the plan. So I'm just getting my wife into golf. So I bought her some pretty crappy old clubs, but she's starting to really enjoy it. So secretly,
good on her.
If I get her into it, then I get to play more. So it's pretty selfish, but it's also not.
Well, when you come over next time, you don't need to bring any clubs because we've got the Titleists here, so you'll be fine.
I did say that on Instagram. I've seen the delivery. I had a go of Damon's GTs, and I absolutely loved them.
Yeah, they're a great club. I was smashing them around yesterday myself.
Oh, that 7 wood that he has is probably the funnest club I've ever hit.
The magic stick.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, when you get onto that thing, it's a beautiful ball flight.
It is, yeah. They're fantastic clubs. So easy to hit.
Yeah. Oh, so easy, yeah. I won't say the driver was because that's where I struggle with the driver. I hit a few big out-of-bounds balls. But, I had to choke up on it a bit. That's how I usually play.
Fantastic.
Mate, really appreciate you joining the Golf Companion service. I had an awesome time. I hope you did as well. And really love to see you back in Japan, and we'll all play a round together. But if you could just give us a closing comment on your experience, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
Absolutely. No, I really appreciate the efforts you put in because it went on for a while, obviously trying to book it all. And the organisation was world class, and just such an easy process for me being the tourist. I just get picked up. Clubs would pick, the clubs were there, the course was sorted out, and all I had to do was play golf and have a beer and have a good time. So I'd highly recommend Companion to any solo or group travellers.
Good stuff.
But especially the solo, the Companion works really, really well. And then just obviously local knowledge. But I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to come back and do it again.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and look forward to seeing you back in Japan soon.
Yeah, I'll go with you next time and have a few beers.
Yeah, please do. I love a beer on a course and to have a good hit and giggle. So, that'd be appreciated. Love to play with you all.
All right. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
See you next time.
Mate.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a lovely chap.
Terrific. Damon, good job. And for those of you who are listening, I think it's probably worthwhile having a look at Instagram. I think there's some photos that you've
posted. That's a pretty epic moustache, isn't it?
It is a great looking. It's the first thing I looked at. But just the smile on his face in those photos.
Yeah, he's a good bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, good fella.
He was a top guy. Really good to play around with.
Easygoing character. So he sounds like he's a the boy originally from the Sandbelt. So I think he said he lives up north.
Yeah, I haven't played with an Aussie yet. I've only played with Americans. But, good crack, they're good guys. Played an amazing golfer last time. And then had a couple on their honeymoon, which was nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, and before we had Mick on the call there, I was saying yesterday I had the pleasure of going to the ZOZO Media Day, ZOZO Championship Media Day, and hosted by Travis and Corey and all the guys at PGA Tour, and we had a fantastic day. We did a kind of a President's Cup format. Well, first of all, actually, we had Xander Schauffele call in, and 2 people got to ask him questions, but I didn't get to ask him a question. But he's obviously got a strong connection to Japan. His mum grew up here, and his wife is half Japanese, so he's very familiar with Japan. He's been here many times, so it's good to see him. They had a really set up well. This was in Narashino Country Club, I should say. And then we all went out and played like a kind of a President's Cup, did the scramble, then did a 4-ball. Then we had singles for 7 holes. It was good. Travis, I have to say, shout out to Travis. Man, was he hitting the Titleist driver well.
Travis smashes it at the the
Man,
best of
these
days.
big high draws.
Yeah.
I think he got the long drive at 320.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. So shout out to Travis.
Good on you, Travis.
Couldn't get a wedge close though. He was just in the bunkers the whole time. So I was chipping out from my drives, but then I was getting it nice and tight, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if you could combine us, you'd have the ultimate golfer.
But I think for all the people considering coming over, I think just the opportunity to go and see Xander is a lifetime.
He's got to be a favourite to win.
Oh, he has to be. I mean, he won 2 majors this year. Apart from Scotty Scheffler, he's the second best player in the world. So just the chance to go and watch him hit a drive. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in the world. I think he'd be 5'7" or 5'8", and there's not much of him. 190 gets up to like 190 miles an hour ball speed. He's just working with Chris Como, who's a really good coach. He's been coached by his dad his whole career. He's just gone over to Chris Como. Now he's won 2 majors. He smashes it. He's just such a great golf swing, so effortless. Great technique. Just if you can steal half a day, definitely go out there and watch him. And watch Will Zalatoris as well. He's a bit of a favourite of mine.
So he's coming over, yeah.
Guy.
So there's Will Zalatoris, Colin Morikawa, obviously defending champion, Hideki Matsuyama. I've seen the list, but a couple of the names escape me. I know Seamus Power is there.
Okay.
No Rory, I don't think.
Shame.
Yeah. But
that's a good field. Just have Xander over here as a real coup. So well done to the PGA Tour, Travis and the boys for getting him over here, because that's a great opportunity. For people to go and see.
Looks like
I think Mick's back.
It's my bloody computer. It should be good, and the ticket sales are obviously in full swing. So if you just search the ZOZO Championship, you should be able to buy online.
And I think there's an English tab there too. I think Travis was saying there is.
There is an English tab, yeah. I think eventually you might get into some Japanese, but if you fire up the old Google Translate, you should be okay. I think it's done through Ticket Lawson, which is one of the convenience store chains here. So if you're coming from overseas and you do buy it, you can pick it up at any Lawson, and they're literally everywhere in Tokyo. Yep. So so it should be easy enough to get a ticket. I don't think you can go out there on the day and get one. I think you have to have one.
I think that's right. You have to have a ticket before.
Don't just head out there. You got to.
Otherwise, you're going to have to climb the fence like we used to as kids.
You and Mick. Down in the sandbelt.
That's right.
I think the ZOZO Championship is well worth going to. Yeah, make sure you sign up now, because I think on the weekend as well, the tickets get more expensive the closer it is to the tournament. So if you want to get the early bird and you're coming to Japan at that time, what's the dates?
I think the weekend of the 26th of October.
Okay, so it should be nice and cool by then. That'd be good.
Hopefully. Bloody hell, it's hot now.
Isn't it?
It's just continuing.
It's going to be like this for another week or so. The next 10 days is going to be like this.
It's like 35 every day.
Correct, yeah. Because wasn't it hot yesterday?
Oh man, it was pretty steamy out there.
Had a guy turn up for a 3 o'clock lesson in jeans.
No way.
And he was like the human shower by the end of it. I mean, his jeans were soaked through. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, there was some interesting things that I could probably share. So the PGA Tour are doing these strategic alliances, and they have their partners with the DP World Tour, and now they have a pathway allowing European Tour players to get cards in the PGA Tour. The top players qualify, and Japanese players who play in the JGTO and finish top of the money list can automatically get into the European Tour.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or the Corn Ferry Tour.
Right.
So they have a choice. I think Hoshino, he's a good example.
Yeah,
he was a top 10.
European,
he won
European
2
tour.
or 3 times last year. Yeah. So now he's he's qualified now for the PGA Tour next year.
Actually, if you're a betting person and you want to bet some money, so you're saying he's in the ZOZO, he's in the field?
I think he is in the field, but he's also qualified now for the PGA Tour by playing well in the DP World Tour. So they were saying all this kind of stuff, and then sorry, do you want to say?
Sorry, if you wanted to, if you're prone to a flutter on the golf, I would put a few bucks on Hoshino to win the ZOZO. He's a great player, had a great year in Europe, and coming back always performed really well here. So he might be worth putting a few dollars on if you're that way inclined.
Okay, fantastic. And then the other thing it was more on the media side. So you were talking about this Creator Classic, this influencer tournament that they did.
Influenza.
It was like
influencer.
It was like when Bush used to talk about the terrorists, and he'd be called those tourists. Get the tourists. Anyway, and then they have a new PGA Tour studio that they're building to create content, and then the Full Swing Season 3 is coming out. That's been announced. And they have all these unbelievable media highlight package stuff in their websites and stuff for all the media. So fair play to them. Shout out to Corey and Travis. Great day. The ZOZO seems like it's going to be a whopper this year, and going from strength to strength. They're very they're looking to really, establish the tournament in Japan, and I think they have. And fair play to them. So thanks for that.
So how did you get an invite? Sorry, before we continue, how did you get an invite? Damon and I didn't.
I'm the editor at large.
I see. Okay.
I don't know what that actually means.
We're the plebs, or I am anyway.
No, well, a lot of the time we do put up content about PGA Tour, and we always talk about it on the podcast, so they did invite us. But I think or maybe he just had one slot and he said, "Oh, I know who I'll invite."
Of course.
That's probably more likely.
Yeah.
Went through his whole contact list. And
That's right. Past
Mind you, he invited me on Friday and it started on Tuesday.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm sure the Japanese media were given, beautiful embossed invitations about 3 years
right.
3 years ago.
Yeah, you get a WhatsApp at midnight.
Yeah, hey mate, you free
next week?
Tuesday?
Yeah.
yeah, I can.
such and such cancelled. Who can we call?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so last week we did a couple of, we said some amazing stuff, which is a shame because we had another prefecture. Last week we did Nagano, right?
Last week we did Nagano.
We did. Yeah.
And I think we wouldn't be doing it justice. What I'll do is I'll put up a nice Nagano related travel blog on next to all the golf course listings, so we can get a bit of that. But do you remember the highlights of Nagano before we go into the next prefecture of the week?
Off the top of my head,
Nagano Olympics.
Nagano Olympics.
Oh, Ryan went off for about 20 minutes.
He
talking
did
about
actually, yeah.
ninjas
He
and
did too,
shogun.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Well, it's got all the Alps, the northern, the southern,
that's right.
and is it the eastern Alps? It's got all the Alps there.
Yeah.
Go through Nagano.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about Inakokusai, which is the 36-hole golf
That's
course
right.
up there that we're doing a little bit of work with. It's worthwhile going and visiting.
Yeah.
There was another one. It's got great views of the Alps. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
doesn't it? Mm.
Just beautiful.
Alpine situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
It's a town for the whole year, though, isn't it? I mean, with
Yeah.
the
Yes.
skiing in the winter,
skiing in the winter,
and then
fantastic.
golf and every other outdoor activity in the summer months and
So
stuff.
they had the Winter Olympics. What year was that?
1986.
Okay, so have you guys been there?
Yeah. Oh, to the actual
Yeah,
Olympic
to like
place?
the Olympic
No.
place. I went there a few years ago. Went there with the in-laws, and we went up what's the big ski jump, and you can actually go all the way up. There's lifts to a building, and then you walk up stairs all the way to the top, and you can actually stand on the top of it. And I got about halfway up and had to go back down. So it's all this stairway, and it's open, so you can see everything below you. And I got about halfway up and
On the
got a
ski
bit of
jump thing? Like where they-
yeah, the big ski jump.
Wow.
So you've got to walk
You
up
got
all these
scared?
flights. I did. I got not a panic attack, but I'm not good with heights.
All right.
Sorry, you're not good with heights, and you
Of
started
speed.
to walk up.
And
this
I'm
thing.
walking up these things, and I'm walking up with the in-laws and my missus, and I said, I've got to stop. And I walk back down into the building. It's really quite scary. So those
Yeah.
people that stand at the top of those ski jumps and,
They're
Eddie
pretty
Eagle,
amazing, I've got to
it
admit.
is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
you wouldn't want to have vertigo for sure.
No, and I got a little bit of that.
But
so.
Red Bull. Did you remember Red Bull? It was about maybe 2 months ago. They did
World
a
record.
race up that thing. So like the way they're thinking that they're all jumping over.
Yeah.
They did a race up it.
Up it.
Oh well.
Up it.
Well, they also did the longest ski jump in
almost,
the world.
Was almost got
Oh,
to
yeah.
It was like
250 or something?
291 meters or something.
Right, the goal was 300, I think.
Wow.
Was it? I
No,
think
he was going for 300. I think
Right,
at
but he
the
got-
time the world record was like 256 or
Yeah.
something like that.
How do they?
They actually built the ski jump.
Oh, okay.
And it's like he's floating. I've watched it a few times. It's unbelievable. Red Bull do some of the most tremendous things, don't
I
they?
know. Shout out to Chris.
Chris
And
from
Lupo.
Red Bull. Yeah, and Lupo. Wow,
They probably just sit. It must have fantastic. Just sitting around going,
What can we do next?
what can we do next?
That's right.
Yeah. I remember they took over is it the Budokan where all the sumo, and they put like an online gaming tournament instead of a sumo tournament inside this sacred halls of this Tokyo sumo whatever they call it, sumo hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
Some of the
some
stuff they do
some
with
production.
airplanes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
They don't do that anymore in Japan, though, I don't think, in Makati. The planes. Not sure.
Oh, okay.
But they also do the F1 car racing the bullet train.
Yeah.
Things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that crazy
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I wonder who won that one.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay, cool. So Nagano, apologies for we probably missing loads, and I'm sure we'll have Ryan's amazing story again someday.
So can't we come back to that at some stage? I
We
think
will.
it's
We will.
probably
Actually,
somewhere placed
we've
that
only
we
got
have to-
another. I think we've got another 5 or 6 podcasts before we've done like all the prefectures, or maybe a little bit more than that, but not many to go.
There's not many left, no.
And we'll circle back, and then we're thinking about some new formats to do. So not just your typical. We'll actually try and get something featured. We have a couple of ideas, but I would say more special guests.
Yep.
Talk a little bit in depth about particular golf courses that we work with, or that are really good to visit. They're must plays, that kind of thing. But
it's also good to know that the prefectures that we're mentioning each week, they're the prefectures that we recommend to play kind of in this season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it like...
that's a good point. Yeah, Nagano was actually, when I went up there about 3 weeks ago, which is obviously really hot in the center of Tokyo, it was lovely up there. It was really nice, mid-20s.
Exactly. And the opposite then in the winter, we'll talk about Okinawa. And
that's right. Yeah, it won't be Hokkaido or anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
Not much golf up there.
No.
Okay, what is the prefecture of the week this week?
This week is actually Aichi.
Aichi, okay. Is that Toyota?
That is, yeah. So Aichi Prefecture, central part of the Honshu Islands, or central part of Japan. It's known as the Chubu region.
Yep.
Chubu means central in Japanese. Borders Mie, Gifu, Nagano, and Shizuoka Prefecture.
Okay.
And Aichi kind of looks out to the Pacific Ocean side. But yeah, some fun facts about Aichi, birthplace of Toyota, one of the world's largest automobile manufacturers. The city of Toyota, obviously named after the company.
Yep.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Has its headquarters there and obviously several of their factories. Nagoya Castle, one of Japan's most famous castles. It's known for its iconic golden mythical like fish things on their rooftop. I think they're called the Shashiko Hoko. Something like that. I probably said that really wrong, but something like that. Other things famous for Aichi is their miso.
Oh, yeah.
Their miso paste used in all types of cooking.
Yeah, I love it. It's strong. It's salty, strong.
Yeah.
Miso taste.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
The Inuyama Festival, which is one of Japan's oldest festivals. It dates back to 1635.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool. For all those pachinko lovers out there, home of pachinko.
Is it?
Yeah. I used to love pachinko.
It's like I never played it. I've never played it.
It's kind of like, I sort of explain it to people, it's like pokies back at home. But it's sort of like, it's that same sort of environment. People sitting at machines and putting in balls.
You get these ball bearings type of thing. You got to get it through like a pinball machine into a certain like hole to generate a spin of the reel, and if the wheel all lines up, then you win a box of balls type of thing.
Yeah, you can't win. You don't actually win money, do you? So
no,
but you can cash out.
You can cash out, but you don't. You can't.
But it's not part. It's not part of the actual pachinko parlor.
No, don't you go around the corner?
I don't know. I've never played it, but I remember seeing on the Gaijin Pop blog, I think there was people talking about like some guys are like, can I become a professional pachinko player? I think the last time I played, I made 30,000 yen in 4 hours sitting.
Oh, I thought you can't.
You can.
A lot of money.
No, you can. So the payment system is you get all these balls and a big bucket of balls, and you exchange that for a token, and then you take that token outside of the establishment, and there will be a shed type of place very close by, which is separated from the actual pachinko parlor, and they'll buy the token off you for cash.
Right.
That's how it works. But I used to play it back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah. And I used to sometimes, my biggest earnings would be over 100 grand a day.
No way.
Japanese yen.
600, 700
100,000 yen.
Yeah. So $700.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So you can make good money.
Oh, you can make good money.
Yeah.
And is it complete luck or is there skill involved?
There's always skill involved.
When you're concerned, it's always skill.
Well, I believe that one of the bigger companies in Japan is Maruhan.
Yep.
Yeah, which is our parent company.
Which is your parent company.
Yeah, it is too.
So you should be...
I've walked into a few places. I've been into a few of our parlors. We've got 300 and something around the country, but it's not just the pachinko playing the game. It's also F&B and car parking.
It is now, yeah.
Things like that where they make a lot of money. It's a very successful company.
Well, it must be. I mean, the house always wins in these things, right? It's a kind of form of gambling.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, the 18 golf courses that they've bought with the money is testament to that.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
They put a lot of money into that.
But so Nagoya, which is I suppose the capital of Aichi, is the main pachinko hub.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Of Japan. But yeah.
Is it close to Legoland?
Coming to that, aerospace industry. This is something I actually didn't know about, but Aichi has a really big aerospace contribution. Manufacturing of aircraft and also development of aircraft. So, yeah,
It's a big airport, actually.
The Chuba,
Yeah.
Chuba Airport.
Yeah.
Yep, and as Casey just mentioned, Legoland Japan. So Nagoya is home to Legoland Japan, which is the second largest Legoland theme park in Asia.
Wow.
And it's located right down Nagoya Port or Kinjo Fudo, which is where I used to work. We used to have a yard down there, and all these yards used to be all for the export of new and used vehicles. Then all of a sudden, they made a Legoland there.
It's because
It was
actually
really bizarre.
I always drive to Mie and I drive right by it, and you look down, and because you're on a high kind of a motorway, and you look down, it's just all industrial smoke coming out of everything. Then you just see huge Legoland right in the middle of all the rubbish.
And right next
Incredible.
to it, they've also got a train museum there now too.
That's cool.
But yeah,
I think they have the Legoland hotel and stuff like that. If your kids are into Lego, why
yeah.
not? Yeah. Just
But yeah.
wear a
That's
mask.
okay. How long does it take to get there from here, do you think?
it is on the bullet train from Tokyo. I think it's like an hour 20
Yeah, okay.
to Nagoya.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's very quick.
Yeah.
If you go, I always drive first thing in the morning. We always make it to Nagoya and stop off there, probably in about
3.5.
3 hours maybe. It's early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we always have that sugoi, the udon miso.
Oh yeah.
That's what they're famous for. It's really good.
Oh, yeah, the other thing you talk about food, yamachan. I love yamachan. You know what that is?
Yamachan? I don't know.
It's chicken wings, like peppered chicken wings, deep fried peppered chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
They are absolutely to die for.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work, chicken wings, I find, for very little return.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Give me a drumstick.
That's like my golf swing.
Give me some chicken breast. I'm with you all day. But yeah, I get lots
So,
of
mate, have you
tried?
tried them before?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
so
so-
I'll reserve judgment until
Yeah.
I've tried. Sorry.
We'll have to. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, all you get
Company
is
trip
this
down there.
2-bone chicken wing, and there's an actual way to eat it, but it just slides off.
Oh, does it?
And
Okay.
it's really, really good.
Yeah. A little bit of heat in it. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. But you just order them by the dozens.
Do you?
Seriously.
And drown them with beers? and-
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Beer and chuhais. Yeah.
Wow, sounds
Yeah, why
good.
not?
Very healthy.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, golf courses. There's actually, to say there's not a lot there, there's still a lot. There's about 50-odd golf courses in Aichi. I don't think Taiheo's got anything.
No, we haven't got anything down
Yeah, and we don't actually have any partner courses in Aichi either. But some of the most searched golf courses on Golf in Japan would be the Central Leisure GC Jokoji, the Nagarua CC, Nagoya CC, the Wago course. So shout out to Toshi there, Toshi Wago, our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Pines Golf Club and Kasugai Golf Club. All golf clubs I really haven't heard of, but seem to be popular on our website.
Oh, okay, so you are sending some people down there, or these are just people clicking on them, checking them out?
Checking them out mostly. To be honest, we don't actually book a lot in Nagoya. It's mostly in the neighbouring prefectures like Mie,
Yeah.
Shizuoka,
Yeah.
those type of places. So not so many in Nagoya. Also, some really good ones down near Mie, obviously Yokkaichi, those type of places.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played there. I was just looking at the Golf in Japan website, and I thought I'd played in Old Lake Golf Club.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe back in the day, because I remember there was a zoo or something close to it. But it's usually just that you kind of pass through it to get to Osaka, or go to Mie. Mie's, But to saying that though, I have gone to Nagoya City, and it's a nice place. You've lived there, have you?
Yeah, I used to live just outside of Nagoya in a place called Toyohashi. That's where I stayed for about 3 odd years when I first came here.
Oh, okay.
My mother-in-law's from down there, so I used to go down and visit the old Oba-chan when the grandmother when she was alive and stuff like that. But it's a nice place. Very kind of traditional Japanese. If you're familiar with anime, what do you call the robot? Draimon. It's like all those.
Yeah, okay.
If you ever seen Draimon, all those kind of beautiful houses, the old style Japanese houses, and
Dramon's the blue cat. Is it a blue?
He's a robot cat from the future.
There you go. Yeah, so my son was all over Doraemon a few years ago. So we've
That's
got
great.
Doraemon in our place.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do we have anything else for our prefecture of the week, Aichi?
And that was it.
Okay. I'm sure Ryan's as he's listening to this in his convalescence, you can tell us about the samurai who lived down there another time.
I like listening to those sort of stories.
Nice.
That's really interesting.
It's amazing. Yeah, I didn't know he actually Ryan was not only a history buff. He studied it. He studied about Japan.
Yeah, I think he studied at university.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was already, and that's why his Japanese is so good and everything. But it's handy to have because you feel a bit ashamed. Like I've lived there for 20 years and I couldn't tell you any samurai stories. Played a lot of golf though. That's it. But okay, well, not too much happening with the PGA Tour, but seeing as we missed last week, we could maybe do a little bit of recap what's been happening. But
all right, so there's not much golf going on in the world, but there's a little bit of golf going on over here in Japan. The men didn't have a tournament on the men's tour here, but the ladies did. It was a ladies what they call a major here, called the Sony JLPGA at Kanehira Kisei Country Club in Okinawa.
Yeah,
such a good golf club that. I've never played it, but I mean, it just looks absolutely
doesn't it?
mint.
Yeah, it does look mint. Yeah, we'll have to get down there and have a hit. It's a really great story, and I don't think many people around the world actually know what's going on here. But Ryo Takeda, who's a 21-year-old, obviously Japanese girl, who's been on tour for 2 years, has won her 6th event of the year. So she won over Miyu Yamashita. She won by a shot. She finished at 19 under. So amazing. 6 wins in 1 year for such a young player. She's also had 15 top 10 finishes, which is an extraordinary.
It's like Nelly Corda.
For such a young player. And I was just looking through some of her stats. Obviously, she's leading the money list, but she's leading number of birdies. She's 4th in driving distance. If I go down that, she's number 2 in final round scoring. She's number 1 in first round scoring and second round scoring. Par 5 average, she's number 1. Par 4 average, she's number 2. Par 3 scoring average, she's number 4. Round of scores in the 60s, she's number 1. This girl is absolutely dominating this tour. It's a really cool thing to see. What was interesting, apart from she's the 4th, actually there's not much of her, but she's averaging 262 yards off the tee, which is a really long way.
Yeah,
for a lady to hit it. What is interesting is there's a stat here they called fairway keep, which just means how many fairways you hit. She's only 70. She's ranked 78 in Japan, so she hits the ball quite long, but she doesn't hit it awfully straight, which is a little bit unusual because a lot of the girls here hit it quite straight. But it just goes to prove that hitting the ball long rather than straight is a really important statistic in golf these days, and she's proving that. I just think it's a really cool story. I think she's up to 30 in the world now. I don't think the Japanese tour, the ladies get terrific points. Because if they got really terrific world ranking points, she'd probably be in the top 10 in the world. But 6, I mean, it's like a Scotty Scheffler type year. So that's a major. So she's won a major plus six top 10s. And I think there's still a couple of events to go. So
incredible.
What a great year. I just want to make mention, and I'm not sure if either of you know, Kieran, I maybe expect you to know. Damon, you might know. Megumi Kido. Do you know Megumi Kido?
No.
Megumi's a very tall, athletic girl that was sort of dominating the tour about 10 years ago. She's the one when she squats down to look at her putt, she goes sideways. Do you know the one you'll have to Google her later. Anyway, she's had a really tough time lately for the last few years. She was a great player when I turned up here sort of 10 years ago and doing really well, and she was like the glamour girl here, and then she's battled the last few years, but the last 4 or 5 tournaments she's starting to play well again, which is really good for the tour because she's a terrific player. If you're listening, just Google Megumi Kido, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, nice to have her back. European tour. I don't talk about much about the European tour, but it was in Switzerland at the Cran-sur-Sierre Golf Club, which is a golf course that's been on the European tour for a long, long time. So I should say DP World Tour. This golf course, did you watch it, guys? Did you watch any of the European tour event? No. Look, this golf course is 1,500 meters above sea level, and it's got great views of the. I don't think it's the best golf course in the world. There's not great reviews on it, but it's an amazing location, and the views of this place looking at the Swiss Alps is really off the charts.
Yeah.
The reason I bring up this is there was a few Japanese players who played in the tournament. Hishino, who's obviously a great player, led the field for the Japanese players, finished tied 8th at 6 under. Kawamura, who's a mainstay on the European Tour, DP World Tour, finished tied 59th at +3. Ryo Hisatsune tied 77th at +8. And Yuto Katsuragawa had a nice weekend off in Switzerland, so he unfortunately missed the cut.
Who won it?
Matt Wallace from the UK won on the 4th hole. He won at 11 under, he won on the fourth hole of a playoff over Spaniard Alfredo Garcia Heredia, who has only been on tour for a couple of years. So he's a good player, Matt Wallace, and I think he was really quite emotional at the end. I think he's had a bit of a roller coaster the last couple of years with his golf, and now I think it was a little bit unexpected, he said, when he won it, but he's really happy. But that's one of the big tournaments on the European Tour, so it's a good win for him. Unfortunately, the Japanese players, as I just said, didn't have great success. But I'm going to just talk quickly about the Q School here. The Q School in Japan has just started, and the first round of Q School is actually one of our golf courses, Sunno Hillcrest, which is in Tochigi. Damon, that's where you and I played our first round of golf. Are you
looking at me, calling me Damon?
Sorry, Kieran. God.
You're looking away from me, calling me.
Sorry.
Look deep in my eyes and said, we played our first round of golf there, Damon.
Kieran, it was where you and I... actually, I've got this written here. It said Damon and I played there together. It's Kieran. You and I played there for the first time.
That's where the birth of half swing came from.
It was too. That's where you witnessed my smooth power. So I thought, well, there's 2 points I want to bring up. There's a kid that I taught in Singapore, Nick Chiam. I began teaching Nick in 2003. He's 29 years old. So he was about 10 years old. This kid was a superstar. Even as he was a young, sort of heavy-set kid, just the loveliest kid you will ever meet. And his dad was very, very important to me, sort of getting my teaching business off the ground in Singapore. He was a great guy. Andrew, rest in peace. He was a terrific fella. But Nick's over here. He had +1. He had one over in his first round. But it's nice to see kids that you've sort of started their golfing journey have success. So he moved all the way up the rankings in Singapore. He was educated in the US, went to college golf. I think it's some sort of scholarship in the States, and he's back in Singapore playing on tour, but he's over here for the first round. So, Nick, if you're listening, I've been in touch with Nick recently. I hope you play well, and I hope you get through first stage. The other name that was really interesting there's a name, I'm not sure if either of you know this name, David O. Does that ring any bells? No, and it probably shouldn't. David is a 43-year-old American guy who I became familiar with when I first turned up here into I think it was 2014. He won the Tahoe Masters in 2014, and I watched his third and fourth round, and I thought, what a great player. So that's 10 years ago, and he was 33. He looked $1 million, tall, athletic guy, hit the ball a long way, and I really liked him because he had a great golf swing, really good, and I thought he would kick on. And he stayed on the Japanese tour for, I think, until 2018. He's won nearly $2 million US for his whole career. And he's back. So I think COVID kicked him in the butt, couldn't come over here and play. And now he's back in Japan, and as a former tour winner, now he's back at first stage Q School as a 43-year-old.
Wow. Dedication.
So, dedication. I mean, he's obviously...
Is that a tournament where, the top certain amount of players qualify, get a card?
Yeah, basically, you've got to go through
so there's 4 stages, so depending on... what sort of player you are. I mean, you can get in some players, if you drop off the tour, you usually go back to third stage or fourth stage. But if I wanted to start Q School, if I tried to pre-Q for Q School, I would have to go to first stage. But here's a former... Oh, God.
Why not? Joe, you could do it. On a half swing aside.
No, it'd be a waste of time. It'd be a waste. It'd be nice to go and do it to say I've done it. But I wouldn't get through.
Is it the same for a senior tour? You've got the Q School?
So I could do it next year. Yeah, because I'm 50 next year, so I go to... But I'd have to dedicate myself to do it properly, otherwise I'm just making up the numbers. Pretty nerve-wracking type of situation as well.
It'd be epic if you did.
Look, it would. I mean, I would sort of consider it because Marahan Cup is one of the tournaments that we host. And the bosses have sort of said, would you be interested in playing it as a senior? So I'd have to actually start.
So going back to the Q School, so how many rounds are in each stage?
So each stage, there's first stage, there's usually 5 or 6 different golf courses. So in the first stage, there's 4 rounds. Second stage is 4 rounds. Third is the same, 4 rounds. And fourth stage is the last stage. And it goes 4 rounds, and then the top 60 play 2 more rounds. So you've got to play 6 rounds, and then they... depending on what position you finish. If you finish first at Q School, you get into some better events. And then if you finish 60th, you get into sort of the lower ranked events. And then, of course, you've got to play in the tournaments and then you work your way up. So getting onto tour is one thing. Staying on tour is the hardest thing. I mean, to get through. So I caddied for Yuma a couple of times. We went to 4th stage. I think in 2000, he made 4th stage. So he missed out on playing the last 2 rounds by 1 shot. And there's some serious golf going on. I caddied for him 1, 2, 3, and 4, all 4 stages. And the level of golf here is astronomical. I mean, there's golf professionals from all over Japan who are just wonderful players who don't get through. Really, really tough. And then you got the best Koreans come over, and then the best Aussies and all that type of thing. And anyway, so it's first stage, and David O, a previous winner, is still there trying to do it as a 43. It's amazing. I mean, he shot 5 under, so he should get through first stage, no problems.
Oh, sorry, he's going back to Q1.
Q1, he's got to go. That's the interesting thing. So he's a former winner, and he's won, like I said, $2 million US. He's got no status in Japan.
That doesn't give him any.
I thought that gives him nothing. He's obviously lost that status because I think the last year on tour here was 2018.
Well,
maybe a little bit in 19. I think he played a couple of events and may have got injured because he played the first couple of events and then nothing, or went back to the States. Maybe got some status in the US. I'm not sure, but
good on him.
Yeah, look, David O. Follow him. He's a good story. Great golf swing. So hopefully he gets through and gets back on the Japan tour.
Yeah, and you know him personally, or
no? I don't know him. I just. I sort of took a liking to him because I watched him win the Taheo Masters in 2014, and he looked $1 million.
Yep.
Like,
and
this kid's a world beater. US, Korean heritage.
Yep.
But it's a story worth watching. Just jump on JGTO. There's an English tab on there, and you just click Q School, or sorry, QT they've got, and you can follow all the players, and it all comes up in English. So there's some players that you would know coming over here. A lot of people come over and try and pre-queue.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
For the tournament. Damon, this is for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about Liv. It's in Chicago this week.
It is.
At Bolingbrook Golf Club.
Is this the last one?
It is the last one.
Yeah, last like individual / team event, and then they go to a last team championship in Dallas.
There you go. So you know more about it than me.
Yeah, clearly.
So they're playing from Friday through Sunday because they only play 3 rounds. But I think it'll be. I've got to get that in there.
Fun fact.
In shorts while music's playing. Look, I think it'll be interesting to watch. Obviously, all the good players are still going to stay, but it's going to be really compelling viewing, watching the bottom players for the ones who are going to get relegated to see how they perform in the last event. So I'm watching. I don't know. I tease you about Liv, but I watch it. I follow it. There's some great players over there.
I know you do, mate, because you've got the Liv shirt on, the Liv hat on. Clearly you like it.
I've got the Golf in Japan hat on today, and what a great hat it is too. It's the first time I've put it on, and I've got a really big head. Like I can go into shops.
Yeah, me too.
I can't get hats that fit, like normal hats, like fitted hats. It's usually the one up in the corner that's dusty, that's got size 60 on it. But this is a really good hat. It fits well. So good job, guys. So get on have you got the website up and sorted so people can start buying the merch?
Yeah, on its way.
Excellent.
So with Liv, I don't even know anything. Who's winning? Is it like a championship? It's
John Rahm's
how much cash does he get?
Is he?
Yeah, he's leading the individual.
And if he wins, what's he get?
A lot of money, I suppose.
Yeah, it's usually the first place is for $4 million US.
$4 million US. That's
it might be more. I'm not sure. I just did a quick look at it, but
brilliant. There was a lot of reports in the media that he was having cold feet and
John Rahm.
Yeah, didn't want to be there, and then he came out and released a statement, and it was a bit contrived, I thought.
Yeah, look, there's been reports. I mean, you see feeds come up on Facebook about it all the time about how he's not happy and he wants to give the money back. But I think there was a report that he's not going to be able to play Ryder Cup. Do you know? Is there any basis behind that? Because he's losing his world ranking points, which means
he wouldn't automatically qualify. But I mean, what captain? Luke Donald there's no way he's going to not have John Rahm play. He's an absolute. You have to have a Spaniard on the team, number one.
That's true.
They bring a fire to the whole situation, and he was holding it from everywhere. Last time, do you remember? He must have chipped in. I'd say 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So he's definitely a lock for the Ryder.
Yeah.
So what about this big face-off with PGA and Liv?
Oh, look, I don't know.
You've heard about this?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know enough about it.
Scheffler and McIlroy against
Bryson and Koepka.
Okay.
That'd be a good match.
Yeah, that would be a good match. Yeah.
But it's not endorsed by either Liv or PGA. It's just it's like a, I was going to say
like
TBS
Tiger versus Phil type.
Yeah,
thing.
I guess it's one of the big networks in America.
Just another big
NBC
fat money grab, though, isn't it?
TNT, air on TNT. It's in December.
Where is that? Is he somewhere in the US?
Yeah.
That'd be good. be a good watch.
Yeah, it would be a good watch. It's interesting though that DeChambeau is playing with Brooks Koepka because they hated each other for quite a long time, and now
I don't think that's
besties.
changed.
You don't think so?
No,
They're just doing
I
it-
think it's for the love of live that they
okay, and
appear to get
the,
on.
and the coin as well. Yeah.
Must be. Yeah. Well, what's the format?
I don't know actually.
I guess it'd be some sort of match play. Maybe
Has
that
to be match
might
play.
have to
Team
do
match play.
Yeah, best ball.
Yeah.
Maybe best ball or
I know. Would you say
alternate
best
shot as always.
But it's going to be pretty watched by a lot of people.
Oh, it would be. I mean, they're probably the four best players. Well, Brooks maybe not so much at the moment, but
No, not Brooks. No.
four best players and
I
the
don't
three
think
best players.
Scotty and best ball with Rory. Wow.
Jeepers,
That'd be
what a combination those two are.
Yeah, right.
My goodness.
I'd probably pick those if I'm thinking about it now. If I had to put some money down, I'd put them on Rory and Scotty. I mean, Scotty's year is unbelievable. Rory had a good year as well. So there was actually something that they were talking about. I shouldn't read these feeds, but it was something on Instagram came up that they reckon that's talk again about Rory moving to live.
Again.
Yeah,
I don't want him. No.
you can't have him. You can't have him.
Too much of a cry.
I think he wants I think he, because he came out with egg on his face, really, didn't he, during the whole, when it was in its height. So I think I think he wants them to join.
Yeah.
I think he wants them to, like that there's a certain amount of events that are shared on a shared schedule. I think he's up for that. Otherwise he wouldn't be doing this match for sure.
So you see people like DeChambeau or Scheffler or whatever, I really think they're building the game of golf, right? Do you think the same of Rory?
Yeah, look, I think he's been a great representative for the last few years for the PGA Tour, but I think he's just had enough. After he got shafted by Jay Monahan, they did all that sort of stuff behind his back when he was on the policy board. I don't think he's... I mean,
I think it's, I hate to say it, but it's probably his best days behind him. I mean, he was an absolute... He got 4 majors in 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah. Well, he hasn't won a major in a decade.
Yeah, so
and he's had lots of
that's
chances.
just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He was... and he came up during the Tiger era, right? So he was, he absolutely was moving the needle.
Yeah,
but I don't think these days. Yeah, I mean, saying that though, he does come out and win a tournament or two every year.
Yeah, but it's more than that though. Building the game, you got like DeChambeau doing his YouTube channels and doing all this other stuff. I'm not saying just that.
Yeah.
But I don't see Rory doing that and building his fan base and things like that.
But there was none of that. Like when Rory was coming up, like when
I'm talking about now.
But I think Bryson's about the only guy that does that, doesn't he? Because he's getting no eyeballs over at Live.
No, Max Homa has the podcast.
Oh, does he? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Rory's too busy trying to save his marriage.
You are reading too many of those feeds.
It's back on again.
You are reading too many of those feeds.
I go back to this. I don't know if you've seen it. This was maybe over a year ago or something, and I can't remember what tournament it was. Someone had thrown onto the green where Rory was a remote control ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
and he's like, they're going, "Hey Rory, we'll send you this over," and they threw it over, and it squiggles around on the thing, and Rory like pushes it away, and the guy's still trying to control it, goes into the hole, and he literally picks it up and throws it into the lake.
Yeah, I thought that was a real shitty thing to do. I thought that was too. Yeah, that was average. I mean, he could have won over that crowd by just picking it up and having a laugh.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're in the middle of so say Joe, you qualify Q School next year, and you're on a green, and someone goes, "Hey Joe," and starts throwing you a remote control ball. Tell me you're not going to just be like, picking it up.
I think there's other ways he could have handled it.
Yeah, better. Yeah,
he could have just let it go into the hole.
Got the caddy to do it.
It was a bit of a tantrum, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, get the caddy here, sort that out.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? So President's Cup preview. When is President's Cup? Very soon.
Is it the week after?
In 2 weeks?
Yeah, I really haven't. I saw the team the other day. It's got a really strong contingency from South Korea. Cam Davis missed out, unfortunately. And it's an interesting team. There's a few Canadians in there as well that might not be they're good players, but might not be the smartest picks. So, to be honest, the Americans are going to dominate this. They really are. They're going to do it again, I think.
September 24th to 29th.
Of course they do.
Okay. Yeah. Any golf this weekend, guys?
Yes.
Damon?
I don't know where I'm playing though.
Okay.
Haven't looked at it. But definitely playing Saturday. It's actually a long weekend, so possibility of a Monday as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably play Monday or so. I'll see what's happening, but no plans as of yet. Yourself?
Yeah, actually, I've got a hit with Joe Fisher and Brendan.
Oh, Brendan's
and
back.
Phil Dean. Yeah, Brendan's back at our Conan course. So we're going to go over there for a hit early on Friday.
Good on you.
Going to take Joe over there for a look. Unfortunately, with the greens are not in great condition over there at the moment, with the hot summer.
Yeah.
So hopefully they've recovered a little bit from the last time I saw it, but we shall see. But it'd be nice to get out there for a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to say the rough in Narashino yesterday.
Thick.
And it was, I mean, first of all, you can't find your ball.
Yeah.
It's just off the fairway. And it takes like 4 people 10 minutes to bloody find a ball. You find about 16 others when you're looking for it, and then to get it out, it's just you're just hopping and just hacking.
And it's not that long. It's just
thick.
It's pretty long now.
Is it? I wonder if it's just
okay.
the last
Probably
cut before
fertilizer.
the
Throw
tournament.
some fertilizer in there.
Some parts are so, yeah, you're right. They're so dense, maybe not long, but it would just go whoop, and it's gone.
You can't hit it on the green. Are you just wedging it out or no?
Yeah, I mean, there was the girl I was playing with yesterday. Aya, she was like a professional, I suppose, but she works for Albatross magazine or online magazine, and she was able to get through it all right. She was using a hybrid and she was getting through it, but she couldn't reach the green though.
Right.
Yeah, amazing playing with her, like tiny Japanese girl, and she was outdriving us, outplaying us everywhere.
Same tees.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I felt really sorry for her at the end, right? Because she really wanted. They had some nice prizes for long drive and stuff like that, right? And she's playing off the whites, and of course, 2 ladies win the both long drive prizes.
Did they really?
Playing off the reds.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And she was just like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh, I felt so sorry for her."
Yeah, Paul Braganza got dirty a few years ago at the Le Petit tournament, and he smashed it. I played with him. He hit this really long drive on the long drive hole. And the ladies' tee on this particular hole was about 100 metres ahead of where we were. And this lady can smash it and outdrove him by, 50 yards. But yeah, sometimes if you get a lady who hits the ball a long way off the red tees and they're forward on that particular hole, they're always going to win the long drive.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. All right, lads. I don't think we have anything else. We'll just we'll say a shout out to Ryan to get well soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Ryan.
hopefully he's on well.
Yeah, come back to your lessons.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody for sticking with us and not having a podcast for 2 weeks. I'll try and get this one out as quick as possible. So thanks very much, guys.
Kieran, sorry for calling you Damon.
That's okay, mate. I've been called worse. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Find that out.
Bye.
Bye.